let me tell. Ryan asked me beforehand. He was like, "Hey, can you, if I get too fucked up, like, can you take me home?"
We should preface this. I wasn't planning on drinking at all.
That's always how the best nights start.
I had no intention of drinking when I got to Michael's house. But then I got there, and we were hanging out, and he was drinking and had a massive amount of vodka. Wanted someone to drink with, and it was either me or Josh, and Josh was not going to do it. I was looking at the stars with Michael, and I was telling him about how he has the perfect view of the Big Dipper from right where we were standing. It was gorgeous, and then
Nice.
I immediately face.
Oh my god.
So the night continues. They keep drinking, and then it's like 5 in the morning. So we're like, okay, it's time to leave. They've had their fun. It took Ryan 30 minutes to get him in the car. By the way, this was after he fell on the ground face first in Michael's backyard.
When my face, okay, so when I face planted, that was the moment of blackout. Well, I remember you have the perfect view of the Big Dipper, and then I don't remember anything, and allegedly I was on the ground. So.
Yeah, but he dropped his keys during that fall too. Nobody knew that. So nobody knew that he dropped his keys. So it took Ryan like 30 minutes to get into the car. It was AIDS. It was insufferable because those two kept hugging each other. Like it was just a please fuck already moment. So I got them in the car and I finally get him. I'm driving him to his house. This man is flying with the turns.
I am wasted.
How many shots did you have? Would you say?
No, they drank over 3/4 of a bottle of vodka.
And also, this was on an empty stomach.
This man's just flying with the corners, right? Like, I'm turning, this man's vibing with it. He's just chilling. We get to his house, I help him out the car, and I leave him to lean up against the car so I can say, hey man, where's your keys? So he can look for them. And then he digs in his pocket, hands me his fucking vape, and was like, these are my keys. And he digs in his pocket, and he pulls out the same vape, and he goes, these are my keys.
I have a vague recollection of this.
Then I take the vape from him because I'm like, this guy's a fucking retard right now. I just through his pocket, so I'm like, where's your keys? For the last time, where are your keys, Ryan? And he digs in his pocket one more time and hands me his fucking wallet and goes, here are my keys.
Oh!
Whatever, I'll dig through his pockets when we get to the door. So I take him up, I get him up the stairs, I lean him against the pole, and I
starts
look through his
dancing on
pockets, and I thought I found his keys, and so I went to the door real quick, and I turn around, and he's on the ground. So I was going down to pick him up, but he got on his knees. The man picked himself up and got on his knees. Now,
Respect.
Nice.
The only reason he pushed himself up instead of having me help him up was because he had to piss. The man pulled his pants down all the way and took a piss on his front porch.
Mind you, this is probably like 6 a.m. and I'm facing the street while this is happening.
And so I get him up. After he's done pissing, I'll let him piss and do whatever. And then I get him back up. And I sit him on the porch. This man's sitting up for a second, and then you just hear and he's on the ground. He knocked over a beer bottle full of cigarettes or some shit, and he was just on the porch. So I looked at him. I was like, you okay, buddy? And he's like, So I was sitting there. I was like, he's fine. So I sit there with him until like 7 or 8 in the morning, and then I got to the point. I woke him up. I don't even think he remembers, but I woke his ass up. And I was like, hey, buddy, you good? And he's like, So I was like, that noise is good enough for me.
Good enough.
He's alive. Let's go.
So I just went home and went to bed. And then, like, when I wake up...
That's how the story ends, by the way.
Oh boy.
So I leave, and I get a text from Ryan in the afternoon or some shit. He goes, by the way, a cop woke me up this morning. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, yeah, no, some officer woke me up, and he's like, what happened? So I had to tell him the whole story. And by the way,
I woke up
Annabelle,
drunk.
his roommate, Annabelle, walked past him and went inside the house. She didn't even wake him up or anything.
So what has happened?
Yeah, I had a
She
crazy
just
Wow.
let it happen. It
When
got
those
to the point
officers
where, like,
woke me up, there was 2 of them, and they woke me up, and when they woke me up, I was drunk, like drunker than anyone should be talking to a police officer. I tried to open the door 3 times. Every time I stood up or tried to like change direction I was facing, they had to catch me because I was that drunk. They were just trying to, they're like, do you live here? I'm like, yes, I live here. My landlord lives downstairs. I can knock on his door, but there's no guarantee that he's gonna be home or awake. And I guess we made enough noise that we woke up my other roommate, and she came outside and was like, "Yes, officer, this child belongs to me." So I was like,
This
"Thank
thing
you." I'm
belongs
going
And
to
upstairs.
me.
Annabelle wasn't there. Annabelle wasn't there at 6 in the morning.
She had
It was
already
after,
come and gone.
It was after I left that she came back and saw Ryan on the porch, passed out, and didn't do anything. She just left.
Seriously?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's
I mean, I was
nasty.
chilling. I was just sleeping on the
Y'all
porch.
had some motherfucking movers on y'all got boy.